Hi there, Bren White again for the brand new Look Up series. My question for you today is, when you wake up in the morning, what do you do? What's the first thing you do? What's your top priority? What's your first inclination? Jesus's first inclination was to look up. He went outside and he got into a quiet place and he looked up and he prayed. And throughout the day, Jesus Christ, even in the crowds, even in the middle of doing things, he looked up and he prayed. This was the overriding theme that Jesus Christ modeled for everybody on the earth who wants to live a trustworthy life, a life of trust in God through his Son, Jesus Christ. This is the salvation of the world. This is how the world is saved, by following Jesus Christ every day. Letting Jesus Christ, God in the flesh, actually shepherd you, lead you in the way that you live every single day. Real time. But it starts with looking up. This morning, I woke up, the sun was shining, I looked out the window and looked straight up into the sky and prayed to God, thanking him. My suggestion is that you spend a fair amount of time talking with God about the day, about things going on inside of your heart and your mind, spiritual things. This active kind of praying, interactive kind of praying that Jesus did every day he was on the earth is the key to you becoming Christ-like in your heart and mind, your thoughts, your behavior, and in your character. So this is why we're talking about it. There's a lot to it. It's talked about all through the Bible, the Holy Bible. This is something that God is orienting us to because it's his design. And so if you're a part of the True Leader process, this is a part of that process as well. It's the first key daily action that Jesus Christ shows us, teaches us by his own example. And it's the thing that we need to do in order to have a life that is well ordered and to be able to lead anyone else, to be able to be a positive influence to anyone else. It's interesting how looking up, this orientation that happens first thing in the morning, actually helps to solidify our thinking, gives us footing. It gives us connection, belonging. The moment that we are conscious and we are moving around, this is what human beings need. They're designed for this. And if you don't pay attention to this, your life ends up being very scattered, very fragmented, and it is not a potent living. You end up having all kinds of doubts and detours and destructive things that come into your life. That's not what you were made for. Now, if you are in the True Leader process, and it's an ongoing process, these videos are meant to reinforce what we started talking about. If you are not a part of the True Leader process, you can become a part of it by contacting me at ofwmissions@gmail.com. Or by joining the Global Leadership Summit group on LinkedIn.com. These things are meant to help you to really get focused like Jesus, to really have the fuel spiritually in your thinking and your living, the passion, the hunger spiritually that you need in order to live the kind of thankful and joy-filled and peace-filled life that Jesus Christ lived as a faithful Son of God, as the only begotten Son of God, leading many sons to glory, the writer of Hebrews says. So anyway, this is part of what we're doing. There are all kinds of follow-ups for those who are in the True Leader process. If you haven't been to one of those retreats, contact me about that. We'll set one up. It's very important to get this process launched in your church or your nonprofit organization in order to really make sure that you're going to be thriving and everybody around you is going to be thriving spiritually and not just bumping along or getting stuck with all the nonsense going on in the world. In Job 22:12, God is so great, higher than the heavens, higher than the farthest stars. This is out of Job, and this gives us some perspective. This tells us something about God, looking up to God, and that's in Job 26, just a few verses later. It says, then you will delight in the Almighty and look up to God. If you have the proper orientation and you let go of the earthly things that are going to kind of distract you and waste your life, if you let go of those things, this person in Job is saying, then you'll delight in the Almighty and look up to God. When you have the right perspective, you'll be looking up to God all right. And good things will come from that because He is the source of all good. He has good things in mind, and His design for life is a fantastic design. It's awesome, just like Him. And in Psalm 121, verse 1 and 2, a lot of you know this verse. It says, I look up to the mountains, and, where's my help come from? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. So we're looking up, not to the stars, not to the moon, not to the sun, not to what has been made, but to Him, the one who is above all things, the almighty living God who sustains all things in a really miraculous way, a powerful way. He has all power. He has all the power. Human beings do not have power. The authority thing is interesting right now because there are a lot of people who are misusing authority. They do not understand that all authority belongs to the Lord. He rules the nations, the Lord, God. So we look up to Him, the one who is above all. He is the one who made everything, the maker of heaven and earth. Now, the other day, I had an email about this from somebody that Cheryl and the kids and I knew back in Strasbourg, France. And actually, it was there were twins, twin professional basketball players, female basketball players. And anyway, one of the sisters was telling me that her mom's license plate said, look up, because she was trying to encourage people to not get stuck in all the earthly nonsense, but to look up to God, where your help comes from. He is the source of all good. Every good thing that's happened to you comes from Him. You need to be looking up to Him. This is one of the things that I want to challenge you to do more and more as you go into this new year. It is crucial. It's crucial in terms of you becoming the person you're meant to be. I have to mention just a couple other things before we end out. I'm trying to keep these fairly brief. We'll keep rolling with this, but I want to just note something. In Acts chapter 1, verse 9 through 11. And this helps you and I also to have additional motivation to key in, to look up not only first thing in the morning, but throughout the day, to be looking up beyond the horizontal, beyond all of the noise and nonsense on the earth. So this is verse 9 out of Acts chapter 1. After saying this, he was taken up into a cloud. This is talking about Jesus ascending into heaven, which was talked about in Matthew 28 also. After saying this, he was taken up into a cloud while they were watching. To a cloud. He was taken up into a cloud, and they could no longer see him. As they strained to see him rising into heaven, two white-robed men suddenly stood among them. They said, "Why are you standing here, men of Galilee, staring into heaven? Jesus has been taken from you into heaven, but someday he will return from heaven in the same way you saw him go." Okay, these angels were informing the apostles and us that Jesus Christ was going to return someday in the same way that he left, in the clouds, and we will meet him in the clouds. So the main event for eternity is up, when you hear the trumpet sound, it's going to all be happening up in the clouds. Jesus Christ, the one who is above all, his name is above all names, the one who rules all things and who is totally sovereign, who actually holds everything together, even in terms of physics. This is the Jesus Christ we're talking about. It's not just some little religious thing on the side for people who don't know how to figure things out. This is for people who, people of heart, who actually understand the truth, understand how they are designed, understand what their thinking is for, their heart and mind are for, and who want to become faithful, reliable, trustworthy human beings who are totally filled full of the goodness of their Maker. We're made in his image. We need to be filled with his goodness, with the way he thinks. And Jesus Christ teaches us that. Jesus Christ shows us that every single day we follow him. So I want to challenge you to keep looking up. Keep looking up. Think about these scriptures. There are many, many more, and we'll talk about them next time. God bless you. Stay strong. All right? Bye-bye.